And thank you for being here today. I'm joined here by Craig Cipriano, Senior Vice President of Buses at New York City Transit and President of MTA Bus Company. As we remember and honor veterans this Memorial Day weekend, I know it is also the unofficial start of summer, and many can be tempted for New Yorkers to head out to the Long Island beaches since the city beaches are closed. But as all of downstate New York continues to do their part to stop the spread of the virus, I want to remind you that the MTA is still running its essential service plan to serve the heroic first responders and other essential workers who need to get to their critical jobs. As such, we ask that you do not need to ride with us unless it's an essential trip, and that if you need to use public transportation, that you wear a mask or a face covering. And before traveling, essential workers should check our MTA website at mta.info or one of our apps for the latest service information so they can make informed travel decisions. Our team here at the Long Island Railroad are continuing their heroic efforts in ramped-up disinfecting schedules. Each day we are cleaning and sanitizing and disinfecting each of our 124 stations across Nassau, Suffolk, Queens, Brooklyn, and Manhattan counties twice a day. And meanwhile, our teams in maintenance of equipment have been keeping up with the aggressive cleaning and disinfecting of our train fleet every day as well. I have to take the opportunity to make sure that the public hears loud and clear the links our workforce is going to keep the fellow essential workers safe while they travel on our system. For that, Long Island workers are truly heroes moving heroes. And as we move through the coming days and into the holiday weekend, I want to remind all that may be planning to head to the beach on Long Island that there are local restrictions and capacity limitations in places at many of these beaches. So make sure that you check out with your local municipalities before you go anywhere. But remember, Long Island Railroad service and MTA services across the region is for essential workers. If you're not an essential worker, you should be looking at alternative travel plans. I'd also like to note that the MTA has contingency plans in place for the Memorial Day weekend, and there will be staff, both Long Island Railroad, MTA PD, at key locations to help monitor the situation so that we are able to flex our service as needed to ensure essential workers continue to have a safe and reliable trip to and from work. So now I'll turn it over to Craig Cipriano and ask all that take some time during this weekend and reflect and honor those who have served our country and those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Again, I'm Craig Cipriano, Acting President, MTA Bus Company, Senior Vice President, New York City Transit Bus. We know that during these unprecedented times, this Memorial Day weekend will be different and perhaps even more special as we honor veterans and share times with our family. So as you do this, I want to emphasize how important it is that our services are left to the essential workers who need them to get to their jobs. The doctors, the nurses, the first responders, pharmacists, and grocery workers. Our heroic bus operators are doing their part and need to preserve service under the essential service plan for those who really need it. We can't risk overwhelming the system. Part of keeping everyone safe for now is staying off the buses. So please do not try to take them to the beach this weekend. As you know, New York City beaches are closed. We're doing everything we can to protect the public health, and buses are being disinfected daily. We're testing innovative new cleaning solutions, such as UVC technology. Plastic barriers are also being installed on hundreds of buses to protect operators and customers by limiting front row seating to best maintain social distancing. Rear door boarding has been our protocol since the beginning, and all fares have been eliminated on local buses. But we need all New Yorkers to do their part. That means staying away for now. But as Phil said, this weekend we'll be carefully monitoring conditions and adjust service as needed. Extra police will be on patrol at key locations to handle any potential crowds. So let's all honor those that served our country this Memorial Day weekend and allow our MTA heroes and all the essential workers do their part in helping save lives. Thank you.
Phil, what is on a normal Memorial Day weekend, how many people take the train to Long Beach? And don't you usually add service on that line to get people to the beach? How do you anticipate this unfolding in this pandemic reality?
So last Memorial Day weekend, we probably had about an extra 1,700 riders, I believe is the number. This year, obviously, with Long Beach, it's restricted to residents or those that have already have admission to the beaches. What we are doing, as we've been doing since the beginning of the Essential Service Plan, is we have protect trains should we see an increase. But what we don't want to see is people take the train to Long Beach only to have to take the train back because they can't get on the beach. It's very important for people to really check local municipal rules and regulations. And you know what? Since the beginning of this pandemic, the public has really heeded the advice and the guidance and the rules. They've been wearing face coverings. They've been staying home when they need to. And we fully expect that they'll do that this weekend as well. There's many other ways to enjoy this holiday weekend and to honor those that served our country.
Follow-up to that. The idea that New Yorkers may have heard about all this. They're like, I can't swim in New York City. I'm going to go out to Long Beach anyway. I bet I can get onto the beach.
Well, what we have in place is we have strategically, we're going to have our staff at key locations monitoring. We're going to also have protect trains if we need to support that. And we will, if we have to protect overcrowding, we'll limit some passengers on the trains and we'll ask them to take the next train. Other questions? Thank you. 3 o'clock, down on track 2.